If their opinions control you, they own you. If they're causing you anger, they own you. If you're seeking their approval, they own you. Strive to be even killed, no matter what. So this morning, as I was leaving the gym, there was a guy walking in, mean mugging, giving me the angry, tough guy look. And me understanding this guy, I smiled and told him, "Have a nice day, bro." As I was reflecting on my day, I just can't help but think how my ego wouldn't allow me to respond like that a few years ago. I would have fed into that energy. I would have fought fire with fire and allowed someone else's problem to become my own. We've been conditioned as men, especially black men, to automatically be on guard amongst each other, to try to flex our muscles and prove we the toughest and most masculine one in the room. But what if I told you that actually the opposite was the truth? You know how many dudes are in cemeteries and jails, all because they couldn't keep their ego in check? All because they allowed what someone else did to get them so emotional that they decided to act without thinking and ultimately have to pay a price that literally cost them their life? I'm not saying if someone's disrespecting you to just turn the other cheek. That would be dishonest of me to say, because quite frankly, I'm not willing to do that. However, just because someone's giving out bad energy, that does not mean you have to receive it. I'm not saying that you have to treat ignorant people nicely or tell them have a great day like I did. But if they're controlling how you respond, they own you. When you're self-aware, even when you're dealing with someone's ego, you allow their ego to live in its own space. The problem is when you engage that energy. If you engage the ego with your ego, then it can escalate to a level that is irreversible. That was a quote from Jay-Z. So essentially, what he's saying is you'll never see a self-aware person going back and forth with someone who's on the ego trip. First off, the self-aware person probably has more to lose. Secondly, they know what they're dealing with. An insecure person who's willing to do just about anything to get their ego fixed. I often remind myself that negative energy is reflective of an identity crisis. There's something about themselves that they don't like, so they portray an image to try and mask their weakness. But don't get tricked by their attempt to bring you down to their level. Instead, try to feel a sense of empathy. So if you feel like you're not there yet, that's cool. Remember, this is a process. Some days are going to be better than others. Just always come back to bad energy can't hurt you if you don't receive it. Like, always come back to that. Keep that top of mind. Anger is an acid that can do more harm to the vessel in which it is stored than to anything on which it is poured. All right, once you start putting good energy out there, giving light to the dark, you'll start feeling better about yourself, number one. Secondly, you'll start to receive more of that energy because that's what you're putting out. Thirdly, you'll piss the other person off for even trying you like that. Keep it 100,000. Bad energy has never helped anyone, no matter how it may come to the surface. Stress, envy, jealousy, hate, high blood pressure, or with any other way that it can come to the surface. It's never helped anyone. So that's why controlling how you respond to someone who may be flying off the handle is a win all across the board. So, what are some of the advantages to this philosophy? First off, it's just so draining to be negative all day and to feed into that kind of energy all day. So that's one thing. You get that energy back and you start to apply it to things that matter to you more. Uh, your focus starts to enhance. You start to be even killed more throughout your day. And when chaos shows up through your life, you're you're more prepared for it. There's just so many advantages to learning how to respond or not respond at all. How do we get to a point where we're pretty much unfazed by bad energy? How do we get to a point where we increase our self-awareness and are able to hold our ego in check? First off, it's a never-ending process, like I said before. But I want to give you a few habits and rituals that have drastically helped me go from a guy with a short fuse who was pretty much always reacting to being a guy who's very comfortable in my own skin and pretty centered for the most part. First is deliberate time under tension. First off, this would look like going to the gym, working out, lifting weights for the most part. When you lift weights, we all know that it tears your muscle, and over time, you get stronger due to the regrowth of the muscle tissue, right? So we all can agree on that, the physical aspect of it. However, there's most times where we can lift more weight than we actually think we can. And so what happens is over time, as you lift that weight and you see that you got stronger, that time under tension showed you that you can deal with the stress over time. And the more you do it, the better you get with this. Another way this can help. One way it's helped me is cold showers or cold plunges. When you're inside that cold shower or that cold plunge, your body is going to tell you to get the fuck up out of there. It's too cold. That's because your brain has been wired to keep you safe for survival, right? So this is another reason why the time under tension can actually help you. When you are in a situation of dealing with someone who's negative, dealing with bad energy, dealing with some chaos, what happens is you have built that mental muscle over time that allow you to deal with the things like that. And this could be anything that's hard. Just doing anything that's hard in life in general can help you build that mental resilience. Next is decompressing from the time under tension, right? So just letting go of the stress of the day, just doing certain things at the end of your day or maybe even throughout your day. For instance, I like to take walks now, and taking walks, man, going for long walks has been such a cheat code, man. First and foremost, you get the benefit of, the extra exercise and getting in those steps. Secondly, it, it gives you the opportunity to think through your thoughts, to actually think through some of the things that may be bothering you or stressing you, and actually let go of some of the petty worries that you may have. This can also look like meditating. Now, when I say meditation, it does not mean that you have to sit on the floor Indian style with your hands up and all that, because I don't do that. Everyone meditates different. For me, I like to usually put in some earplugs and listen to maybe some sounds of nature and breathe from my diaphragm. That's right here in your ab area, in your core area, and breathe in, breathe out. So I listen to the sounds of nature, and I like to breathe from my diaphragm. It actually gets me back centered and in the moment of where I'm at. So that's one of the cheat codes for decompressing as well, if not the best one that I've already experienced. Next is journaling. Now, I'm not someone that's going to sit up here and say, oh, you need to journal every day or you need to journal every night. Like, no, to me, I feel like doing that, it makes it feel like a job. I'm someone that say journal when you feel like you need to journal. Now, why is journal such a superpower? Why is it so good to let go of the tension and decompress? For one, it's a way for you to clarify your thoughts and your thinking. Um, one of the ways I like to journal is I ask myself certain questions. And as you ask yourself those questions, you'll realize that a lot of the stuff that you may have been seeking elsewhere, like you may have even asked someone for some advice, you knew all along the answer that you needed. You just had to ask yourself on paper. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty amazing how this works. But yeah, journaling is a very great tool. I actually believe that the people who are the most angriest is because they have not found an outlet to let out whatever it is that's within them. And I think journaling is one of the best ways for you to do this. Take it from me. The more you do these things, the more likely you're not going to want to let petty things annoy you, because you're going to be at such ease that you're going to start to realize that anyone who's trying to take you off your square can't be experiencing what you are. And ironically, you'll probably start to feel some sense of empathy towards them. All right, like, subscribe, drop a comment inside the comments. Let me know which one of these will you try out, or which one of these are you already trying out. And until next time, stay true.